Let's get it started in here. Okay, I'm going to leave these out. If you're watching and there's not a lot happening, I'm kind of loading at the moment. I've also got some egg in my moustache. You. Okay, here we are. So, see how we're getting on so far. It's a slow fucking process. So it looks the entry corridor there. Okay, so the door comes through there. Down here that door goes to a dead end. This one does not. And for the time being, it may make sense to use EDS. Things are a bit more visible. Yes. Sorry? Oh, the phone.
Yeah, you were supposed
Oh,
to
good.
attend.
Yeah, I know. I've got
weren't
the
you?
phone me. That was the idea. Hello.
Hello there. Thank you so much for calling. Oh, goodness me. That's all right. Oh no, that's absolutely fine. No, thank you for calling me back. That's right. Yeah. Well, what it is, I've got two sons, but this one's about my oldest one, Thorn. I mean, he's 30 now, and because of his autism, and basically because he's got like a lot of agoraphobia and a lot of kind of social issues, he doesn't go out and do much. And part of the issue is that I don't think he wants to. But obviously, for myself and his mother, we're getting older now, and we need to think really for the future for him on kind of getting him increasingly kind of out there a bit more. We're just not sure exactly what to do. I mean, I've started taking him swimming again because we haven't done that for a while, and he does involve himself in a Dungeons and Dragons group on a Saturday, but kind of that's which he's doing actually outside of the house, which is good. But it's just trying to get him kind of more involved in things that he might enjoy and getting him to see that he does enjoy socialising with people. It's the difficult bit for us. Autism. He's autistic. Yeah. We used to get some help off Maine, but then their funding changed in some way that I didn't fully understand. So they used to send someone down that used to take him kind of 4 walks to practice with his agoraphobia. But in the end, we ended up just paying a private therapist. And I mean, he can take a bus for a very short journey, as long as it's literally just to a shop and back on his own now. But even then, he kind of needs a lot of kind of hyping up and reassurance and knowledge there's people there and stuff. My name's Chris Robson. Excellent LOC. Brilliant. Well, that's the thing. Oh, sorry. I have. It's Mr. Chris Robson. There's no H in it, so MRCRIS Robson. Robson @gmail.com. That's it.
Right. I'm going to send you the
Anyone who was listening, sorry about that, I was just making a call regarding my son. Right. Okay, this is easier. A little bit. Right, let's open nav mesh. Oh, I've got it everywhere, doesn't matter. Okay, so. One here. Two here. This is just a wall here. Close this thing. Here. Nice and narrow. Make sure there's no space. There is a space. There we go. Idea here. I want to separate corridors at this point. Let's see. I need to get this. An interior piece. Oh, it is. Brilliant. Allows us to do that. Noise. Doors maketh this work, to be quite honest. No, look at that. That's about right. That's a bit better. There we are. Loop this. The whole point of this is we're making a space feel uncomfortable for what it is. There we are. So even a large-ish room like this should feel a bit pokey and uncomfortable. And there should be no real large rooms here. That's an important determination in what it is we're doing. So no room should be large enough to feel comfortable. Now, over here, I've already got one. I'm just going to use the whole thing, I think. Yeah, there we go. So it's going to have a bit of time and effort. Close. Need that and that, and the external. There. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to basically move this over here. The issue I've got here, you see, is that it was a failure on my behalf. The inside of the asylum used to be connected to the outside. I know that sounds silly, but basically it used to be a single piece. So what's happened here is that when I separated it off, which was ages ago when I was working on the wiki, I actually kept the offset in rotation because the game itself has an offset and rotation on Gondola Island, which was put there when the gondola was put in because it was the only way you could get it to fit. And of course there is no gondola on Gondola Island anymore. So this is what causes the disconnect, as it were. I don't know why that is not quite right. See there, that is off. I cannot quite fathom why. Okay, so I'm going to change this to 1. There we go, that will do. Just fix that. I'll have to keep it on spaces. Worst case, I'll just use some trickery. Trickery works really well in this kind of instance. I don't think these are going to line up completely correctly. Tell a lie, they did. Unbelievable. Okay, next. So I'm making a corridor that goes up here, but it can't be too long. And the reason it can't be too long is because I don't want the player at any point feeling a level of comfort. Okay, that's not what I'm after here. I don't want them to know what's around the corner. So what I have to do is ensure I'm creating something narrow and heavily bounded. There we go. Right, so now you can see that even though we have a larger area here, its only purpose really, if we look through it architecturally, ignoring the stuff in the background, is to give us this narrow column that's going to go down on the right here. And with this narrow column, because what I'm slowly doing is working my way over to there. Okay, there's a few different places I want to get to. That's one of them, and I'm going there by this route first. Okay, now, the tricky part here is, for me, that just these. Right, so as I was saying, the tricky part for me here is that basically I'm constructing a real maze in real time. Now, the good thing is that rather than using paper and pen, obviously I'm using Unreal Engine, which makes my job considerably easier because I can delete things if I make mistakes or move things around, which I could never do when I used to do these with paper and pencil. And once we have the atmospheric lighting in place, I think you're going to agree that the amount of effort on this, which is probably going to take me a while, is going to be worth it. Again though, it's all about taking care and patience. Something I was talking about yesterday in the meeting I was at is you cannot underestimate the importance of patience when it comes to this kind of thing. It's all too tempting to go, oh yeah, I need to rush through it. But when you do that, you're lost, basically. You know? Right, ceilings. Let's get this level of claustrophobia in. I'm being told about Dark City. I've got this nagging suspicion. She's trying to get me to watch Dark City. Okay, I'm going to come back to this now because I need to get the brief on. Now that I've explained to my beautiful wife that I have actually tried to get her to watch Dark City for about 6 years, and that she did not fancy it. It is really, really good. I'm trying to go as carefully as I can on roof parts. Now the good thing is that once I have actually got a big concrete kind of space, I can start connecting stuff together and make multiple copies and complex mazes and stuff. I think I'm about to be shown a clip of Dark City.
There is a film from 1998 that almost...
Yeah, she's now trying to show me a trailer for the film Dark City. Okay, so I'm going to continue doing what I was doing. Now that I've discussed with my wife and found a student evaluation version of Dark City. This will also allow me to check also whether or not the atmosphere is suitably claustrophobic. I think we can see that it definitely is, so that's good. I'll grab another light. I'm using a lot of these while in the planning phase. But the good thing is that by doing so, I'll be able to determine basically just how claustrophobic a scene looks. Right. And I'll just get rid of that, whatever that may mean. What a strange message. Right. There's another thing I like, is that we can literally change the player's perspective of the maze carefully by adding and removing sections So, as the player is going down and through various parts of the game, they may get used to a certain hiding position inside of the game and may go, aha, this is where I return to, where I am safe. And then that stops being the case, rather sadly, for the player. What actually happens is they are very unsafe. I did have a look over here because I've got a feeling, yeah, I thought so, there's actually quite a lot of stuff over here that needs to be still removed. That's okay, we can connect to it. In fact, we don't necessarily need to be over there at all for most of this. There's some bits I'm not using. There we go. Right, so as you can see, progress is slow, but perfectly formed. Okay, next, let's continue with the wall. One more wall. So this is about as long as I'm prepared to let a wall get. Now I'll get this part. I do enjoy using building blocks to make things like this. It takes me back to my Lego days, you know. There we are. See how that isn't quite lining up there. So I'll swap this over to a slab size 1. Just do that. Excellent. Okay. Now over here, if you recall, we made use of a room. Need to check that's okay. Yes, good. So I'm going to take my room just here. Take all the parts of it that I need. And may get rid of that corner just to stop us having repeated geometry. Or I may do something actually a little bit more clever even than that. Let's see. So, incidentally you can see there's a lot of fog going on here. Right, now I need to move this down to 10s. Like an old alt. See how you can do that? Isn't that beautiful? Okay, now move this across to here. And I don't think I've got space for another room on this corner. So what I'll do is I'll put one on the other side. I'm going to straighten the architecture. And all of these are basically what I'm calling wake-up rooms. Okay, where the player can wake up and go, what happened? And why was I knocked out? That fits in nicely with the whole Dark City aesthetic that I've just been kind of talking about a little bit there. So I'm not copying everything this time. Instead, what I'm going to do is just copy parts of this, like that. The reason being that what often makes a good maze is a bluff. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to bluff the player. So where we had this door, let's do something different. Grab this corner. I don't think that was the correct angle. Which is a shame. There we go. That looks better. And I'm going to put this on top of there. Now you see it's not quite right. So I'm just going to snap, use Alt 1 just to move it. Sorry, Alt left. Now, next thing I'm going to do is go back to my 10 snap. And remember what I'm talking about here. I'm talking about a wee bit of sneakiness, just to keep the player upon their toesies. Just going to make sure those line up. There we are. And instead, I think what I'm going to do is have this room. Oh, this is going to be beautiful. This is going to be so much fun. Now I'm going to take this piece here, and what we're going to do, and again remember what I said before, we can also mess around with players' perspectives a little bit. There we go. So what I'm going to do is, it's quite wide, isn't it? See how narrow we can make it. Narrow spaces always upset players, but we can't make it too narrow. See, that's quite narrow, isn't it? I reckon we can squeeze the player through there. Especially with a teeny bit like that. Ooh, I don't like that. See that overlap there? That makes me unhappy. Okay, let's bring that back. And instead, let's just keep this narrow. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to do a quick test. It'll take a moment or two to start, I suspect, but I just want to see if we can get inside of this area. Because if we can, great. I don't want to mess around with the player width. So what I'm looking for here is to really have some uncomfortably close walls. Right, so let's go into it. Give it a minute or two just to start. It will take a minute. Oh, this is perfectly normal. Okay, so we come over here. Oh, look at that. See? Oh, look at that. That's not good. Flips happen there. No. These are not lined up. Ooh, never mind, we'll come back to you. See how lovely and claustrophobic this is? That leads us through to the Hall of Many Bobs. Over there. Perfect. Okay, so now it's like decent tidying. Because this has taught us that there are some serious issues to be looked at here. See that? That is actually a big mistake on my part, so we'll just fix it. There we go. Now, we appear to have a little bit of mayhem going on here, so I'll just fix it. There we go. That should off the actual door itself. Sort that out, and then over here, there we go, to put that in the right place. think we have an opportunity to do some tying up over here if we build a corridor that goes around the sides, which is rather nice. As long as it's not a straight corridor, we should be good. So what I'm doing at the minute is just ensuring I check all the walls as I go past. I don't want any mistakes. Oh, we don't have any doors in here. Good. There's no geometry to muck up. So Hey all.
There is a film from 1998 that almost nobody talks about,
Wrong.
and I think that is one of the strangest facts in modern cinema. It came out a full year before the movie everyone quotes, the one with the green code and the red pill, and it told a deeper version of the same story. Not a louder version, a deeper one. When I watch it now, I do not see a forgotten science fiction movie that got unlucky with it.
Yep. Well, we've got to go 1:45 to get the car. And? So what do you want me to do? So what do you want me to do? Okay, fair enough. What do you want me to do? So what do you want me to do? Yeah, of course you can. Just like to ask you to order one. What? Yeah. Okay.
Release date. I see something closer to a confession. Someone sat down and filmed a secret that is almost 2,000 years old, and then disguised it as a noir thriller, so that it could slip past everyone unnoticed.
I don't think they
The
did.
film is called Dark City. If you have never seen it, that is fine, because I am going to walk you through exactly what happens and exactly why it matters. And if you have seen it, I want to convince you of something specific. I want to convince you that this is not a film about aliens or memory. or even identity the way the reviews always claim. I think it is a film about the oldest forbidden idea in the world, the idea that the place you are living in was built by something that is not the true source of life, and that a spark inside you remembers a home it has never seen. That is the claim. Let me show you why I believe it. The movie opens with a man waking up in a bathtub. He has no idea who he is. There is a dead woman in the room and a bloody knife. And a voice on the telephone tells him to run before they come for him. He runs. His name, he slowly learns, is John Murdoch, and the city he lives in is wrong in a way he cannot name at first. It is always night. Not evening, not late, but a permanent darkness that no one around him seems to question. People walk to work, they eat in diners, they fall in love and grow tired, and none of them ever ask why the sun never rises. That detail alone is the whole film in miniature. A world has been built around these people, and the most unnatural thing about it has become invisible to them simply because it is always there. And I want to slow down on that opening image, the man in the bathtub with no memory, because it is doing more work than it looks. A person comes into awareness with no past, surrounded by evidence that he is guilty of something terrible, in a place he cannot remember entering. That is not just a clever way to start a mystery. That is a description of the human condition as a certain kind of thinker has always understood it. You wake up. You are already here. You did not choose the body or the city or the rules. You are handed a name and a history and a list of things you are supposed to have done, and you spend your life trying to work out whether any of it is really you. The film begins exactly where the oldest version of this story begins, with a soul opening its eyes inside a world it did not make and cannot account for, being told it is someone it is not sure it is. Now I want you to sit with that, because this is the part that the casual viewer skips. The horror of the city is not that it is dark. The horror is that nobody notices the dark. The prison works because the prisoners cannot see the bars. They have been given a world and told it is the only world. And the lie holds not through force, but through forgetting. And forgetting, as we will see, is the central weapon in this entire story. It is the weapon used against Murdoch. It is the weapon used against everyone he knows. And it is, if certain ancient writers are to be believed, the weapon that has been used against you and me as well. I have thought a lot about why forgetting works so much better than a wall or a chain. And I think the film understands the answer better than most philosophy does. A wall can be seen, and anything that can be seen can be questioned. A chain can be felt, and anything that can be felt can be resented. But forgetting leaves no mark. It does not feel like a loss, because the very thing that would notice the loss has been taken too. When the people of the city wake up with new lives, they do not grieve the old ones, because they do not know there were old ones. The theft is perfect precisely because it erases the evidence of the theft. And that, to me, is the most frightening idea in the entire story, far more frightening than any monster. The most complete prison is the one you do not know you are in, built by hands you do not remember, locking away a self you have been trained not to miss. Murdoch keeps moving through this endless night, and he begins to notice things that should not be possible. At the stroke of midnight, the entire population falls asleep at once. They drop where they stand. And while they sleep, the city changes. Buildings rise out of the ground and twist into new shapes. A poor man's apartment becomes a mansion. A married couple wakes up the next day as strangers to each other, with new memories, new histories, new names, and not one of them suspects a thing. The streets rearrange themselves like furniture, and the beings responsible for this stand above it all, pale figures in long black coats, moving through the frozen city with the calm of landlords inspecting property. These figures are called the Strangers, and here is where the film stops being a thriller and starts being something much older. The Strangers are not gods. That is the first thing the movie wants you to understand, and it is the thing most people get wrong. They have enormous power. They can reshape matter, stop time, rewrite a human life with a wave of the hand, but they did not create life, and they do not understand it. They are a dying race, a fading collective with a single shared mind, and they have come to this place not to rule for the joy of ruling, but because they are desperate. They are searching for something they lack. They are trying to find the thing that makes a human being, the part that cannot be copied or injected or rearranged, and they cannot find it, no matter how many lives they take apart and reassemble. Think about what that means. You have a group of powerful rulers who control every visible detail of reality, who can author your memories and design your relationships, and decide what kind of person you will be when you wake up tomorrow. And yet they are empty. They have authority without essence. They have command of the world but no spark of their own. They are studying humanity, the way a starving man studies a meal he does not know how to eat. And to do this, they have built a false world, a counterfeit of a real place, and filled it with people who have been made to forget that anything else ever existed. I want to pause here, because if you know where I am going, this is the moment the floor drops out. If you do not, let me make it plain. There is a body of ancient writing buried in the Egyptian desert for 16 centuries and only rediscovered in the last 100 years that describes reality in almost exactly these terms. Not similar terms, almost exactly these.
Hey, you Law.
These texts.
Hello, buddy. How you doing?
Fine, how are you?
I'm okay, thank you. How's your morning been?
Fine, how's yours?
Not bad, thanks. Not bad. I'm just about to make more coffee. I'm just quickly sorting out this because it's requiring a little bit of my attention. There we go. I'll put that.
Yeah, I spoke to Ian yesterday. He seems to be doing okay.
I'm glad. If Ian's doing okay, it means that generally things in the world are okay.
Love how Matthew was the first one to bail out of the group chat.
Yep, that surprises approximately
No.
no fucker. Right, I'm just making a coffee actually. Mum's just in the shower, so give her a few.
Yeah.